EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. And we welcome you to one of the most popular golf courses on the PGA Tour. It is Quail Hollow. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Frank, it is just starting to heat up out on the golf course. Fans are streaming in, anticipating a highly contested event with the best golfers in the world.
One reason the fans love this course so much, Rich, the green mile. It's fine to have a good golf course, but it's got to have a great finish. It's got a great finish, then it becomes a great golf course. Quail Hollow has that great finish of 16, 17, and 18.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Miss hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Enjoying that trio at the top.
Frank, this is a really fun hole, a pretty short par 3 downhill.
Yeah, half a club, you can allow for that, so it won't play its full yardage. You can really see that right part of the green. That's the most inviting one. But when they stick the flag on the left, you really have to be precise.
I like the looks of this one. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. Frank, here at the third, players facing a challenging tee shot.
For a number of reasons, Rich. One, that the hole bends to the left. Two, that the fairway starts to run out. And three, the length of the second shot. You get rewarded the better you hit your tee shot down here.
Frank, there's fairway, there's rough, and then there's mulch.
Yeah, the worst thing about the mulch is all these little chips around the ball, and that's so the ball doesn't sit up. And once again, this shot might look easy, but if you just miss it a bit, it so exaggerates the outcome.
These winds have held up all day long, definitely playing a part in the shot-making we're seeing out there today. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Not used to seeing that. Going to drop a shot at the third. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
You'd like that one again.
Wow, I didn't expect that. This one just requires a little bit of focus. +1 in the early going. We have already begun. Let's pick up with the action at hole number 4. Frank, you know this. You can't win a tournament in the first round, but you can lose it. As we catch up with our featured golfer, they need to turn this around just to make the cut.
And turn it around now.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
That's in the fairway. Frank, we remember what Rory Mcilroy did here in 2010. His first PGA Tour victory, a 62 in the final round. It was also the first victory for Rickie Fowler.
Yeah, and oddly enough, it was in a playoff. And in that playoff, Rickie just pulled out a driver and smashed it down there, then hit a sand iron to that front left flag, basically to gimme distance. Not only did he win in the playoff, but he beat Rory Mcilroy, the then world #1 in DA points. And that was the same Rickie Fowler that, remember, in the playoff in 2015 for the Players' Championship, drove the ball in equally daunting fashion over those 3 playoff holes at TPC Sawgrass.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. This from about 10 feet. Good job right there. Now making a move and setting himself up for, who knows, a good weekend run, maybe at another title. The former college standout has been excellent today. Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Second shot coming out of the rough here. So now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Frank, what are we looking at here on the second shot at the 5th hole?
Well, big par 5. You're going to have the ball slightly below your feet, Rich. What you're looking at is that left-hand front bunker. If you can carry that and keep it on the green, that's 2 very good shots into this par 5.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Now set to tee off at the 6th. It is a long par 3, 250 yards.
We could take a little bit off for the downhill, but whichever way you look at it, it's still going to be a beefy par 3. Protected on the left by that front bunker, and if you sort of scoot one long, there's another bunker over there as well.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Safely aboard. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Solid par to remain 1 under. Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5 7th.
And a 6, and a 7, and an 8, or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard record, the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on do you go for this par 5 and 2. It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
Playing his 4th shot after the 3rd was wet. So, Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. From the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. These putts keep the round together. -1 for the day. Frank, in modern professional golf, we're seeing more and more drivable par 4s, like the 8th here at Quail Hollow, 350 yards. What do you think of this hole?
It's not a bad hole. Drivable, some might say, but the angle of the green means it's hard for that tee shot to keep on the green. But I think the reward for hitting a driver is try and sort of aim at that tree just left of the green. And the reason why is then you've got to pitch up the direction of the green. This is a really narrow green.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That's an important birdie right there, into the top 5 on this leaderboard.
Well, there's so much at stake this week, Rich.
Here we are at the 9th hole at Quail Hollow, 495-yard par 4. Frank, it is the longest par 4 on the golf course. Is it, in your estimation, the toughest?
I think the green stops it from being the toughest, Rich, because it does kick in from either side. But when you see holes like this, there's no surprise why the Rory Mcilroys and the Ricky Fellas have won around here. This is just a great driving par 4.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
But this will require a good strike of the golf ball. It's a pretty long shot into this par 4 ninth. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Watches that one go in as well to get to -3. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way. Oh, I like that.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. Second from an excellent lie.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, this really is a remarkable turn of events, considering that earlier we had pretty much written him off.
Well, we had, and for good reason, too. Was not playing well. It looked like the round was going to continue to go in that direction. But somehow, and believe me, I don't know how, he's just completely turned this round around.
Just a pure strike, a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Wow, I thought he made that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Doesn't dig into the lead with that par, but Frank, sometimes, and you know this as well as anyone, you just have to kind of maintain your footing out there. Frank, on this backside at Quail Hollow, a player does have a good chance to get off to a good start with that par 5 10th and now relatively short par 4 11th, where a player with a good drive could stick a short iron in their hands.
Yeah, this is one you're going to have to make a decision. You can just play this as a straightforward dogleg left par 4 and hit a 3-wood or a long iron up there and 9-iron or something like that into the green. Or, if you want it, you can try and blast a drive around the corner. I don't know if that's the more prudent play, but it's fun.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Very impressive and on the move. Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no two holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one's slightly downhill, fairway tilts a little bit to the right, and it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
Frank, we always say about Quail Hollow, you have to play with a clear head. You have to be thinking your way around this golf course. So what's the right thought process on this second shot?
Keep the ball in the right section. That front portion there, you can't afford to go long when the flag's there. Conversely, when the flag's in the back, you can't afford to be putting up and over that ridge. So you've got to be flying that ball all the way back there.
That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Shouldn't be a problem here. Excellent read for birdie to move to 5 under for the tournament. Now the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. Has a front right portion. There's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Good strike right there, right off the center of the face and about 20 feet away. It's a very makeable putt here. He is currently 5 under for his round. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong 3-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards is the ball kicks down and towards the left, and it sounds like an aggressive play, but like a hard 3-wood trying to run it down there is actually not a bad play.
Is it drivable?
It is drivable, but it's whether it's worth the risk.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just a lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
And here at 14, another chance to make a birdie with the right approach shot.
Yeah, laying back there a lengthy way in, the green will still kick to the left. So even though it's only a wedge in hand, you've got to aim right at this flag.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Impressive. Once again, that's a par, remaining at 5 under. Now as we arrive at the par 5 15th hole here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards, Frank, I think a player has to be thinking about doing what Rory Mcilroy did in 2010.
It's the last of the holes that you can really be aggressive on, Rich. So a good drive down here. I'm well aware of the fact that there's water on the left. This is a good chance to make something happen before you play the green mile.
And that's what McIlroy did. Hit a tracer, then a 5-iron, knocked it in for eagle, shot 62, and won for the first time on the PGA Tour.
Second shot.
Now his third, staring right at the green. On the green in regulation. Locked in on the read and the speed. That one got away. Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par. Nothing wrong with that par putt. This is the start of what some say is the toughest finishing stretch on the PGA Tour. It's known as the Green Mile. Frank, what makes it so challenging?
Well, this hole in particular, Rich, the dogleg right, it means it plays every inch of it's just over 500 yards. That bunker you can see down the right, 325 yards to carry that. If you can fly the ball that far, at least you can chew off 2/3 of this hole, and that is well required here. Otherwise, it's a long, long second shot. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. That one was running so hot. Good job right there. Now making a move and setting himself up for, who knows, a good weekend run, maybe at another title. But a former college standout has been excellent today. Just 2 holes remaining here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the signature par 3, 221 yards, the 17th.
And they have a multitude of tees here. One of the new back tees is actually where the old 16th green was. And if you think don't go left is the way to play, then that won't work either, because right's not that much good. This is it. stand on the tee, and you better hit a good shot.
Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Hard-fought par right there. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you get the...
He went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is, just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
Third shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for. Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Not what you wanted to hear, but this is the fifth shot after the ball went into the water. Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
So a tester from 4 feet. Dropping like a rock right there, Frank.
That has to hurt. All that good golf just erased in a couple of foul swings.
That's the end of round one, and we saw a lot of good golf out there today, Frank.
And it was a bonus to anyone that got off to a good start today.